Set up a prediction poll. Ed Wizardo, thanks for the follow. Welcome. There's Once Upon a Time resolving for Ryan.
It makes me so mad that I have to offer that. I will play this. Fetch for Green Sun? Or Fetch for Forest and Green Sun? Forest. I saw an arbor down here somewhere. Ready? Go ahead.
All right. So Dryad Arbor now on the table for Ryan. Mishra's Bauble resolving.
I will direct you.
And I'm not sure what just happened. Maybe you saw the second card by accident.
I need to replace my sleeves. Try again.
Okay. I'm less worried about.
Yep.
All right, there's a Wasteland on the Dryad Arbor, a play that we saw earlier on today's stream that we were talking about. The Dryad Arbor gets wasted.
Are you? Heritage Druid? Fire with Symbiote.
Force pitching Daze on the Wirewood Symbiote. Is this a summer magic forest? Probably. I'm not the most knowledgeable. This is Volcanic Island. Searched up.
1 mana to duress again.
Okay, turn 0 game says it's not. Okay, so there it is. Just wouldn't surprise me if Ryan had summer forests in their Elves deck.
I like that, I think.
I'd say
I have done something really wrong, so I cannot.
Yeah. And then 2 mana plus 2 more, down to 18.
Good.
All right, passing the turn. Some hesitation.
Turn 1, this. You waste. Turn 2. No. Yeah, you did. You played that. That was your win.
So
Because. Oh, you on the.
I was on the draw.
I was on the. Yeah, so I went turn 1, this. Green Sun Zenith. You wasted my Dryad Arbor.
Yeah.
And turn 2 was this.
All right. So you'll always be 1 ahead of me, and on new play you'll be 2 ahead of me.
Assuming
Okay.
I have a land.
All right. It's just kind of weird that it's that way, but
Pass to you.
I drew my card. I have 5. Plus 1 is 6. You have how many cards?
Untap.
I have
5,
3, 6.
Yep. Your turn. It's weird when you get a draw.
Okay, a little bit of confusion about how many lands each player should have in play, but it seems like they worked it out.
What's happening? I'll play Windswept Thief.
Yep.
Collector Oof.
Sure.
1 yeah. Go ahead.
Blast zone.
All right, collect a roof and attack.
Try to cast the helm.
Here's Scalding Tarn.
If I activate that. Take this down.
And DRC. And it looks like Delirium is online. Sorcery land instant artifact in the yard currently.
Heritage Druid?
Sure.
Pass.
All right, Heritage Druid and pass. Dragon's Rage Channeler attacks for 3. Has to attack. And a Brainstorm and Surveil. Put a Misty into the graveyard. Draw 3. Let's see.
Yeah.
Start with the Thoughtseize, just to be safe.
Another Dragon's Rage Channeler. And Endurance would be pretty good here. Don't know if Ryan has Endurances in the main, but I assume so.
You already played land.
Sorry, I'm still behind.
Come on, you never know.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Okay.
Untap. Draw. Savior.
Oh yeah, because I can make it. You make it a bonus.
Touch.
I always thought that you just actually play like 4 landlines and stuff instead of something just
Fetching now down to 15 is Ryan.
While I'm in here, all kinds of natural order.
Natural order happening here. Sacrificing a Heritage Druid, and looks like it's resolving.
Five, 8, 9, 14, 15, 16, 17. I'll get both and trigger it.
Yep.
Should have faith in my deck to get the Dryad Arbor, so I would have had lethal attacks. Cut. So I'll swing for 3, 6, 8. 5 is 13. 4 is 17.
Attacking for 17. With Trample. Dragon's Rage Channeler will have to block.
13 plus 4 is 17. They all get trampled, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I take 14, I go to 2.
Yep. Go ahead.
All right, Dave down to 2. This Dragon's Rage Channeler will have to attack. So won't be able to block. Double Bolt doesn't do it.
And I am going to pass it on to you.
A Petty Theft doesn't do it.
Yep, you too.
A Murktide doesn't do it.
I was like, the second you were like in response, I was like, oh, I know exactly what's going on.
Let's see.
I've been there before.
Okay, he's thinking about if I see Kevin, I'll go get him and say, oh.
All right, here's a Murktide. Okay, so shutting off Delirium. Well, I guess shutting off Delirium does allow for one more turn. At least. Maybe. Okay, so just leaving lands in the graveyard and a 6/6 Murktide. So that may have worked out for Kaplan a little bit, actually. Be able to hold off these attackers. Let's see.
No, I'm just watching.
Specifically called it out as a mistake.
I'm going to pay one to
Sure.
I'll play Shepherd.
Zalosaurus Shepherd.
I will pass turn.
So Dave Kaplan
6 to activate.
does not have Delirium. Only one type land in the graveyard currently. 4 cards in hand. Looks like Ryan only has 1 card in hand. Ventuza, thanks for the follow. Welcome.
I am at 19, right?
I'll go to my second main.
Here's a brainstorm.
Keep that.
Comics Mike with a great question. Is the elf player wearing a 90s MTG shirt? Yes. Ryan was wearing a beautiful 90s Magic t-shirt. And it looked outstanding. T-shirt links down below. Resolving this brainstorm. Looked like the Surveil left the card on top, if I'm not mistaken. Chain Lightning on Allosaurus Shepherd, trigger. Put Daze into the graveyard. So now 3 types in the yard. Passing the turn. This is close.
So does this get exiled too?
Oh, it's all gets exiled.
Okay.
Wait, does this get exiled?
What does it say? Sacrifice it?
No, it says Domino.
Another Murktide could turn things around here for Dave.
Reclaimer?
I think that one gets exiled.
Elvish Reclaimer.
I think it's like Abrupt Decay versus.
Gets +2/+2.
This is right there.
Kevin's gone.
If there's if Serenity and Leyline of the Void are both in play, when Serenity activates, when Serenity triggers, does Serenity get exiled or does it get?
Let me read the oracle first.
Looks like Ryan passed the turn.
I'll just start my turn.
Thinking about fetching down to 1 now. Yep. Well, more creatures than Kaplan can block.
That's awesome.
It gets exiled?
Getting Steam Vents, putting into play tapped.
The Leyline will get exiled, the Serenity won't.
Okay, thanks.
Well, it doesn't get destroyed.
Well, no, yours gets destroyed.
Yeah.
I think he meant destroyed just as well. So wait, so the Leyline gets no, the Leyline gets in the graveyard.
Yeah, sorry.
The Serenity is exiled.
Leyline, yeah.
Okay.
Go to my second.
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
I will play a land and I may as well do it now since I can.
Putting a Wasteland into the graveyard and Ponder resolving.
To get it in play. Wait, did we say this stays in the graveyard or no?
No, it's exiled.
Oh, okay. Pass to you?
Maybe six.
Oh, I hate you so much.
Leaves them on top. Still no Delirium. Land, instant, sorcery are the types in the yard currently. Alright, there's another Murktide, which still doesn't prevent a potential attack of all creatures from winning the game next turn for Ryan, if Ryan chooses to do that and doesn't worry about a lightning bolt blowout. Alright, there's a 4th blocker then, Delver. So that plan is off the table. One of the Murktides is also a 10-10.
Plague Engineer.
Yeah, it's a good one.
to you.
I would double
May or
check.
may not
So
have
one
been
right now?
entire
It is.
ability
And with one black.
I'm going to try the Green Sun Zenith for extra 3.
Sure.
Green Sun for 3. Hmm.
Can I read Helm again? What does Helm say? I'm sorry? What does Helm say again?
I
Saw a pause there on an Allosaurus Shepherd. Maybe thinking about that?
assuming they go to the graveyard.
Shamez, thanks for the follow. Welcome. Grist. Oh, that's a good one.
It's a cast trigger. Yep. So this is exiled.
So this now it's a
Yeah.
What's the move here with Grist, though?
Play a land. Pass to you.
What's up? Thanks. I'm going to tick Grist down to 1, sacrifice the Heritage Druid, blow up the Big Murktide.
All right, Big Murktide is dead. And now attacking with all 3 creatures. No trample. Crater Hoof's going to die. And it looks like 2 of Kaplan's creatures will also die. Kaplan down to 1. This seems like a decent play, especially since Grist will start making insects now. And the scoop. A great game 1, but Elves gets there. Well played. Players shuffling up here for game 2.
Oh boy. I will keep.
Looks like 2 cards going on the bottom for Ryan, and here's a turn 1 Ponder. They both sideboarded. We just fast forwarded through that. Heritage Druid comes down. Exactly. So on our live streams, for anyone who's not familiar, I do record these matches at the LGS, and then any downtime between games, between matches, is removed. So at any given time you tune in, there's Magic getting played. That's the idea. No sideboarding, no me giving analysis while the players spend 10 minutes shuffling. As you know, I give really in-depth analysis about every game action. Here's a Ponder. Deep analysis, exactly. All right, so lots of cantrips getting fired off here for Kaplan here in game 2. Down a game against Elves. Savior, thanks for the resub. 5 months with Prime for Savior. Thank you. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you for your honesty. I completely forgot. I was like, all right, we're going to game 3.
It was too short. Like, I was like super. I got that like super confused and things like that.
I'll say black.
Sure. You too. Take
And pass to you.
Good night.
Ransom has how many activate? 3?
3 to activate.
All right, so Ponder Shuffle, draw a card, pass. Fetch now for Ryan. Comics Mike, thanks for the resub. 3 months for Comics Mike. Thank you. And I've been alerted that a hype train is close. Sub, gift, or use bits to start a hype train. And as everyone knows, the hype train conductor badge is coveted and respected on this channel. I don't know what the other channels are doing, but the hype train conductor is serious business over here.
Show and tell.
15. I just remember everything is like that.
Visionary?
Sure.
This.
Elvish Visionary.
Well, never activating this extension.
Comics Mike says, thank you very much for your work here. Thank you for being here.
Play this mentor.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Thank you for watching, everyone. Misty Rainforest. Fetching. Getting a volcanic.
Where's this saga?
Me too.
It's a good one.
Yeah. Planeswalkers, opponents, and creatures.
One card.
Murktide?
Go ahead.
All right, so then festivities into Murktide. And a little bit of oof there. 7/7 Murktide. It's going to be a fast clock. Not much time to spare for Ryan. No creatures on the board.
I
He
am
has like 2 late, some has 2 late.
Reclaimer.
How many lines do you have?
Play this.
I don't like using 2 late lines on the board. But I think you
Okay, so it looks like it's still a 1/2 Reclaimer.
yeah, going off turn, going off turn 1, you know.
4.
16.
Go ahead.
I'll put a counter on this quickly again.
How much does it cost?
3.
3 to activate.
73% favored for Elves, said Twitch chat before we got started. And Elves up a game, but this game looking pretty good for Kaplan. Bolting the Elvish Reclaimer and now playing Counterbalance. Wow. We do end up seeing a lot of counterbalances on 90s MTG, but this one a little bit unexpected maybe. Counterbalance is appearing in a lot of Delver sideboards recently, though. Along with Maddening Hex. Newer card. Here's Endurance. Trigger a Counterbalance, revealing Misty. Days on Endurance. Pretty good.
So like mine is the only tools I have. So basically everybody plays.
A Brainstorm for Kaplan. We know the Misty was on top, so we'll get an opportunity to shuffle potentially. Exactly. Delver has a lot of 1-drops, as we all know, and EI and Days for Elves 2-drops. Exactly. There's the Misty Rainforest, so Counterbalance is quite good here against Elves. Shriekmaw was the draw for Ryan. That's pretty good at removing Murktide, but let's see if it resolves. Here's Wirewood Symbiote. Let's see if the Counterbalance trigger on the stack gets it. Hello to Cigaro in the chat. Ramalito says, hola, Chris. Greetings from Munich. Hello from New York. All right, Counterbalance trigger on the stack. We're going to see a Brainstorm in response to this Wirewood Symbiote. People are liking the bling, the foil cradle on the bottom right of your screen. Exactly. There's Shriekmaw.
5.
Yeah.
It is a 5. Force of Will on top of the deck could counter it with Counterbalance, but it's getting Force of Will, pitching Daze, and we're going to game 3. Well played.
Oh my god. Like 5 next cards in a row.
Looks like one card getting put on the bottom here for Ryan. Roll to 6. Oh, 2 cards getting put. Another mull to 5. Yep, 2 cards going on the bottom. There's Sushi, thanks for the follow, welcome. Here's a Fetch and a Wirewood Symbiote. Passing the turn. And Fetch for Kaplan.
I don't know if Foster Stone would have actually been you can't like Dark Virtue. It's here because I need 2 more counters against like turn 1 thoughts.
I don't know. It's the deck is playing 16, 17 creatures. And the spells are a lot more.
Force of Phil liking the techniques being used during shuffling and fetching and all that.
I'll try a Visionary.
I'm sure people are going to go back and watch it now.
Man, leaving Dazes in is so greedy.
All right, Elvis Visionary straight into the graveyard in the face of Daze.
It's scary. Like, I didn't think I could. I didn't think I was gonna get there because
And a Cervelle trigger off the Mishra's Ball, putting a lightning bolt into the graveyard. Wow.
Uncounterable. Because you grab it through the Saga.
Lightning bolt into the graveyard against Elves.
You really just need 2 mana.
We'll see how it works out.
2 more mana and it's game. Prismatic ending for 1.
Green Sun for 1. Daring Dave Kaplan to daze it again. And it will resolve. I think I saw a Force of Will in Dave's hand.
Really there to get the grindstone.
Getting Elvish Reclaimer.
and it's mono black.
Yeah. The deck's not supposed to kill you with that. You've got grindstone finisher and
Upkeep Bolt Reclaimer trigger.
and then you throw in the Voidwalkers for added fun. Opposition user for fun.
Well, the Voidwalkers are there for help. It's another.
Yeah,
It looks like a Murktide is being worked on here. Damon in chat pointing that out. Here's Brainstorm, Cervelle trigger.
Yeah.
Finding the land first to cast it.
No.
No, you can't. I thought about it, but no, because you need to discard effect.
You need this card and you need sometimes you need to cast it.
Although, I mean, technically, you could give up on the Voidwalkers, give up on the discard, just do Leyline and Helm.
Counterbalance goes into the graveyard. Okay, throwing that away. Looks like Delirium is definitely turned on now. I see at least instant land, enchantment, artifact. Maybe a sorcery as well. I can't make out if that's a ponder back there.
That was terrible.
Attacking for 3.
No, I think I drew all duels because I don't.
Yeah, you draw duels and
Allosaurus Shepherd is a good one. That'll shut off the Force of Will that we know about in Dave's hand. For now. Attacking for 3. Brainstorm, Cervelle. Force of Will into the graveyard. As we know, that's turned off at the moment.
That's only if.
Yeah, I think it's partial. I could see doing keeping that.
Yeah,
It's fine. It's definitely the weakest of your cards that you brought in, but like, if you're just
I used to like
getting
doing
variety,
in mine, and like when Bale came out, it's like, oh cool, you get a
I think that like
That's the best value I've ever had.
in positions where you're going to be tapping out a bigger board, these trade them on these, but I could see it continuing. I mean, these are all.
So I was at
Finding another volcanic island. And there's Murktide. Let's see.
She's like, don't call it judge on me.
Intentionally turning off Delirium here? Oh, no. Okay, so keeping track of Delirium before exiling for Delve.
So let's see. You're at 12, you're at 9.
Thinking about next turn.
This is a 7-7.
The 8-8 Murktide would be 11 power on the board. Looks like we're going for the 8-8. Alright, opting to keep Brainstorm in the graveyard in case the Mystic Sanctuary needs to find it, and passing the turn. So 8-8, Murktide. And a Dragon's Rage Channeler, 11 power, facing down an Allosaurus Shepherd, and now an Elvish Reclaimer. There's Cradle and passing the turn. Let's see if Kaplan has a Wasteland in hand. Big attack coming in, potentially. Another Murktide could be lethal. Let's see. Brainstorm Surveil. Puts Wasteland into the graveyard. Doesn't seem to care about Gaia's Cradle now. Chain Lightning you, and that's match. Dave Kaplan gets there. Wow.